We can speak about Dhuni a bit because I
Yeah,
asked
sure.
you, this was still, it's a mystery to me about the idea of Dhuni and
So there are many different kinds of dhunis. So there is the normal, what they call the chalphuk dhuni of a sannyasi. I mean, a sannyasi, particularly, say, in the Himalaya or wherever a fire is needed, they will have a dhuni. But there are other dhunis which are anushthanik dhunis. So they are maintained very strictly. So it's not that you will just put something into the fire. You are basically invoking whatever you are invoking. So that process of invocation is initially done as it is with Sri Vidya also. The process of invocation is a very long process, and once you have done it, then just doing a mala mantra will bring that, you will be in that state to be able to invoke it. But otherwise, that invocation is not an easy process, and that I feel is very tragic that it's getting lost.
the invocation.
Yes, how to invoke.
These are the mantras that we have, the initial.
It's much more than that.
It's much more than that.
Much more than that.
And how is invocation related to Dhuni?
You, for anything, whether it's a temple is not a piece of architecture. So how do you invoke that energy?
Sure.
So and that's what the dhuni is also. How do you invoke the gods? Because you're calling them. I mean, what are you doing? You're inviting them to receive what you are offering. And the Gyan Yagya is actually that you're offering the self to the self. Sure. And the Dhuni is the Nirakar Swarup. And you have given up. These are people who have renounced everything. So this is all that there is. So the Dhuni is regarded as Dhuni Mai, the mother who protects. You know, it has, I mean, all your learning will come from the Dhuni. The kind of energy that it invokes is, and the fire will tell you who has come, what is the Adesh.
Really?
So, yeah, so it's a very, it's one of the sort of, I don't know whether it's definitely one of the most deepest ways of being able to reach Dhyan. But any of the ways will, I mean, even worship will take you to the same place. Particular kriyas, so there are different ways. And I think one reason to learn different paths is because that happens more in terms of when you have to teach. Because when you have to teach, it has to be taught according to the particular person. So everything will not, it's not the same for everybody. So somebody will reach, because the idea is how can you reach it quickly enough for you to then pursue it. So you will only be able to reach by the path that you have already walked. So it has to be familiar to you. You have to recognize it. And that's what, the Guru essentially helps with, to show you what they already know. Very briefly, you see that, and then you want to learn it.
Sure.
So that's what it is. I mean, the whole thing of when Ramakrishna gives Vivekananda, the samadhi, and then he says, "Now I keep the key," because that's what it essentially is. Now there's a lot of work to be done, and you have to complete that. So it's very, because one is spiritual experience, but all the other levels of living, all the other chakras, those have to be also cleansed. Because otherwise it causes an imbalanced kind of So you'll have to return to this, and that can cause a lot of confusion. And I think in the case of a lot of saints or people in the world, they've had the spiritual experience to be able to give something to people, but then you see their behavior is very strange and not and in today's context, in earlier days, people were willing to accept that. Today, you expect a particular kind of behavior.
Tell me one thing, with Ramakrishna touching Vivekananda and telling him that I have your keys,
Yes.
is it equivalent to Shaktipat? A descent of energy,
It is.
in the
It
Tantric
is.
tradition?
It is. It's like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is like that.
And
And Shaktipat, mind you, the highest initiation is not even a formal initiation. It's just so natural.
Sahaj. That's what-
Sahaj.
सेली सिंगी सिर जटा चोली भगवा भेष कानन कुंडल तन भस्म रमावे शिव गोरख आदेश आदेश